We've been holding a dream for nearly 20 years. Physicians, community leaders, staff, nurses, cancer patients, and friends. Holding a dream for a new, comprehensive cancer treatment center. And then one day, it all came together.
We've worked at cancer care ever since I've been on the board, and it was on the agenda when I came to the board. And so this has been a long, long dream by a lot of people. We all understand how critically important this is to our community.
14 years ago, our youngest son had a kidney cancer, and he needed 2 weeks of radiation and 6 months of chemotherapy. And it was a very difficult time for our family, not just dealing with his cancer, but figuring out the logistics of the transportation.
In March, I was diagnosed with cancer of the esophagus. And for all of us, it's quite a shock when you get that initial diagnosis. That always happens to somebody else, your friends, or maybe somebody else in your family, but not you.
The hardest thing for me was just in the initial stages with my children, just wondering, are you going to be okay? And my 12-year-old said, Mom, I don't want you to die. And I said, buddy, I'm not going to. I'm going to fight this.
I had a son who had cancer and when he was 16, and then he died when he was 20. And we had to, that was back in 1996, and at that time, our choices was, you know, and since he was a child, it was Iowa City or Rochester, and so we had to go to Rochester. And he received chemotherapy and radiation therapy and spent an awful lot of time away from home and his family and his friends.
For someone to face a cancer diagnosis and have the confidence in their facility, confidence in their doctors, and then have to go somewhere else for a part of the treatment is not the best for the patient.
I've been on a cancer journey with my husband, and I'm a nurse, and I thought I had empathy and understood and had knowledge, and you have no idea till you've experienced the exhaustion that goes with the journey.
When my father had cancer and I was up at the Mayo Clinic with him, and I received word that my husband was back here at Trinity in the ER with chest pains, I have never felt so torn in my whole life.
The dream is becoming a reality for the Fort Dodge area. Years of careful planning, negotiating with the state of Iowa, medical expertise, and fundraising efforts are coming together to help strengthen the local battle against cancer. The new comprehensive, coordinated, state-of-the-art cancer treatment center, including radiation therapy, will be approximately 9,500 square feet. The Every Option, Every Hope fundraising campaign will help support the remodeling efforts to bring the best in cancer care to the Fort Dodge area. The pieces are coming together. Will you help lift up this important project?
Fort Dodge and Trinity Regional Medical Center is, I believe, will be the medical hub for this corridor in northwest Iowa. And in order to complete that, to make it whole, we need a cancer care treatment center where we can provide radiation and chemotherapy to a large number of patients.
It's great that we have this here. You never know when it might be your turn or your time, and some devastating illness like this, you know, comes around. You can have the peace of mind and the faith that you can have it done right here.
This became our cancer family. We went to Mayo, and Mayo has many nice qualities, but you're a number. And this became our cancer family. And I would like to see our cancer family in a nice house.
When you're dealing with the stress of cancer in your life or in your loved one's life, anything you can do to minimize the difficulties, such as transportation and coordinating of treatment schedules and things like this, it's just so much easier when you have it close to home.
Cancer's touched just about everybody.
Treatment for diseases that are going to affect you and your family, I think, are worth every dime.
I think about how one would ever question the return on investment of dollars to making life easier for patients and families who have been given the diagnosis of cancer and who have to face the long journey of the kinds of treatments that are required to fight that disease. And so there is no better return on investment of dollars than to assist those people that we're obligated and have the honor to serve in our community than to invest in this cancer center.
You know, it's hard to describe. My son, you know, he would beg sometimes to come home. Just because we live here in this part of the state doesn't mean we have to drive 3 hours. We should have the option to have it here. And so when they came out with that campaign and that slogan, every option, every hope, for me, that really hit home. That really touched me, because that's what it's all about.
I didn't really realize until we were in the journey how important hope is.
I've seen a lot of friends, a lot of family be affected by cancer, and feel that this is part of my obligation to help bring care for cancer to Fort Dodge.
I think it's very important for this community and individuals, companies, to support this endeavor. Support your family, support your friends, support your community. And that's why I believe this endeavor is very important, and that's why I'm asking for the help.
As you've heard, all the pieces are ready to come together for cancer care. A critical need in our community, a rich tradition of caring support, a blueprint of success specifically designed for cancer care and cancer patients, our friends, our family, maybe even you and me, who have yet to be diagnosed. All of the pieces are coming together in our community. The last piece is you. Please make a contribution to cancer care at Trinity Regional Medical Center. You can give every option, every hope to people with cancer.